Tell if someone is misusing the term deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. What are the signs? If it is used to frame self-defense as abuse, if it treats any pushback as proof of guilt, making it impossible to engage without being cast the aggressor, that's a sign of misuse. That's someone afraid of accountability. That's someone weaponizing me too. If it is used to try to shut down any conversation that could complicate their own narrative, use it as a shield against scrutiny, then a lens for recognizing harm. That's a sign of misuse. That's someone afraid of accountability. That's someone weaponizing me too. If the evidence doesn't align with the claim, if the accusation discourages critical thinking, that's a sign of misuse. That's someone afraid of accountability. That's someone weaponizing me too. That's a sign of misuse. That's someone afraid of accountability. That's someone weaponizing me too.
Good evening, folks. I just got home. I know I have this is a pimple sticker, just in case. Like I was at work today and they're like, do you know you have a star on your head? I was like, yes, this is my pimple sticker. Hi, Heather. Anyways, I realized there's a whole bunch of text messages that we have not had an opportunity to read. And so I put it in order so that I can read it in order. So the first one is Exhibit 964-115. And I will need, let me look at it real quick. So in this text message is Justin Baldoni and Jennifer Benson. And I don't know if there's anybody in the space right now. And you may have never been on with me before, but who knows how to open up the docket and knows how to read with me? Are there any takers? If there's no takers, let me know, then I'll just start reading it. Mary, who's Jennifer Benson. Remember when Blake Lively was getting sick and Justin Baldoni wanted to have like good rapport with Blake Lively, so he suggested this person, and then she claimed that it was a person that was really a weight loss specialist and that he was fat shaming her behind her back kind of situation, which is ridiculous, obviously, but you know, we've gotten used to ridiculous from Blake. But in the meantime, it looks like no takers. I know that Pamela68 said that she will text Sarah and we'll be right back. But in case nobody is able to come on board to play Jennifer or play Justin, whichever one, I will just read it. Sometimes it's just helpful to have a second voice. Sometimes, and that's why I offer it to folks. So, and I will do this in the meantime, unless I see a hand go up and be like, me, please. Okay. So this is on March 29, 2023. So this is a little less than 2 months before they start filming. And it starts off with Justin Baldoni on March, again, 29, 2023. This is at 11:15 in the morning. He says Blake, parentheses, co-star, is breastfeeding and had to take antibiotics for strep, her second round. Could you recommend a probiotic gut rebuilder I can send her, establishing some goodwill? I'm telling her about you. So Jennifer Benson responds back, of course. Oh no, poor thing. She will want to take the trifecta of the 3 I recommend for 3 times as long as she was on the antibiotic. Do you want me to send them to you there? This is super important as it will mess with the baby's microbiome too. We used to use a baby probiotic that was powder form that you would mix with a tiny bit of express breast milk. Make a paste with it and put it directly on the breast so that when the baby would breastfeed, they would take in that probiotic too. And I can send instructions for that also. Blue Sky said, oh, hello. Is this the text message docket you said in YouTube? No. So that's going to come later, Blue Sky, because I've ended up looking at all the text messages that I don't have access to. Oh, Clark, are you in the space? Would you ever play the part of Justin Baldoni if you are able to have, like, I don't know if you're able to open up your docket at all. I don't even know if you just came in. Oh, Elsridge. Oh, I know Elsridge would be down. Elsridge would be down. Elsridge, I'm going to ask you because I need a second reader. So I just sent you an invite because I'm like, I need a second reader. I'm going to have us restart.
All right. What do you need a reader for?
Okay, so it's going to be docket number 964-115.
81? Oh, 115. I thought 81. 81 was so good.
It is, but you know what? I realized there's so many texts that I did not read. So,
Jesus Christ. Hold on. I'm sorry. My TV just... Hold on. My iPad was connected to the TV and it just blasted sound for no reason. Okay.
Yeah, so because I realized I've missed all of these text messages. What I'm doing is I put all the text messages that I missed and I put it in chronological order because you know me, Elsridge. I like things to be chronological.
Okay,
because
hold on.
It'll help me know when things happened. And
let me open the iPod.
Okay, that would be wonderful.
Device is closest to me. Who are you trying to get to read?
You could either be Justin Baldoni or Jennifer Benson.
Oh no, I was asking who are you trying to get to read before I came up here?
Because I said anybody who was willing, but no one was saying me.
Oh, I walked in and I just heard, oh, you could be whoever, and I was like, oh, I like to do a
little.
I
had thrown it out to Clark, but I didn't even know if Clark just came in and came out. You know what I mean?
Well, you should have texted me and be like, hey, girl.
You know, I'm bad. Elsridge is Elsridge is good about that. I literally just come and turn on this thing because I don't know.
I'm a YouTube girly. I plan. You just be like, what is the vibes? Is the vibes? Okay, so you said 964?
I know that. If it was my job, maybe, but
yeah. 964, 115.
Yeah. So this is docket 964-115. Did you want to be Justin or did you want to be Jennifer?
I'll be Henny.
Okay, he's actually Justin B on here.
I know, but I like calling him Henny.
All right. So I already told them this is March 29, 2023. Go ahead and start with Justin.
All right. Blake, co-star, is breastfeeding and had to take antibiotics. Wait, you hadn't read this yet?
I have read it before.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't read. I don't recall all of the pieces, so I wanted a refresher.
Okay. So Blake, co-star, is breastfeeding and had to take antibiotics for strep. Why do I want to say streps? She had it multiple times. That's why. Had to take antibiotics for strep. Her second round. Could you recommend a probiotic gut rebuilder? I can send her, establishing some goodwill. I'm telling her about you.
Of course. Oh no, poor thing. She will take the trifecta of the 3 I recommend for 3 times as long as she was on the antibiotic.
She will want to take, she says.
She will want to take. What did I say?
You said she would take the.
Oh, okay. She will want to take the trifecta of the 3 I recommend for 3 times as long as she was on the antibiotic. Do you want me to send them to you there? This is super important as it will mess with baby's microbiome too. We used to use a baby probiotic that was powder form that you would mix with a tiny bit of express breast milk, make a paste with it, and put it directly on the breast so that when the baby would breastfeed, they would take in that probiotic too. And I can send instructions for that also.
All right. If she's open, would you be willing to do a call with her today? I'll pay for it. I'm building my rapport with her, so I want to be as helpful as possible.
Of course, I'm back to back until 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but after that, I can make it happen if needed.
You rock. Can you send me a text with what you wrote above, the above and the links?
They are practitioner only, but you can get them on my full script Microbiome Labs Megaspore, Microbiome Labs HU58, and Microbiome Labs Restore Flora. If you get them there, you get 15% off, and they have pretty decent shipping options. If you get them via direct on the Microbiome site, you can do overnight shipping. But I would either have to order them for you, or you can order them on your own here, and a link was provided. And if it doesn't auto-populate, the patient direct code is IWIL. She will want to take the trifecta of the 3. I recommend for 3 times as long as she was on the antibiotic. My word, she does repeat the same thing, but this is super important as it will mess with the baby's microbiome too. We used to use a baby probiotic that was powder form that you would mix with a tiny bit of express breast milk, make a paste with it, and put it directly on the breast so that when the baby would breastfeed, they would take in that probiotic too. And I can send instructions for that also. It's interesting that she wrote literally the same thing earlier, unless that's cut and pasted. Anyways, jumping on my 8:30 nephew, but let me know if you need me to help with ordering or anything.
Okay, yes, let's order those for her. I'm seeing her Friday so we can ship to me.
Okay, I'll get that done now. Overnight them? New address?
Justin sends the address, but obviously it's redacted.
Well, is it obvious? They didn't obviously redact your phone number, but
yeah.
KK, done. It should be there tomorrow.
Can you do 4 or 5 your time?
Thumbs up, and then I sent a calendar invite.
All right, it says 6 p.m.
Refresh it.
Justin sends the attachment showing what times are available, but he's a little confused because she's Eastern, and I think Justin is Pacific, so he was confused.
Yes, that would be 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is what that shows available.
Oh, I thought it was your time zone. Missed that.
LOL. And then thumbs up. Missed that.
Okay, then Justin sends something that's redacted. We can see that's her number for the call. I'm assuming so. Justin sends Blake Lively's number. I'm sure that's changed by now because she doesn't want the dietitian lady to have it. Dietitian lady. Thanks. That's her number for the call. Thank you. I have a feeling she will become a client down the line. Justin, your feelings are wrong. So it's a win-win. No, my love. It's not. I'm working on building significant trust with her, and helping her here is going to be really helpful. Listen to this part. It literally broke my heart. I want her to be healthy and happy for the film. You rock. You should have wished bad on her. I'm joking.
Went to voicemail, just left her a brief message. Every time I see things like this, I'm like, yeah. There's a new motion in Jones versus Abel.
Oh, Jesus, I can't.
I can't. You know what? I want to, because I'm doing the YouTube situation right now, like, I want to concentrate on the text, and maybe I can do, end this one and then create a new one for the motion. But I'm telling you, a big old letter from Katie Case's lawyer, then even more so. I need to do a separate live for that before I get distracted, because I am a squirrel. I will get distracted. Will you? What, me? Somebody told me I ramble too much, and and I said, you know what? I hope that, I said, that's part of who I am.
Yeah.
And I said, hopefully it won't be too distracting, but I will not be offended if you choose not to watch me. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I can't be all things to all people, and I'm not trying to be. But the person was very kind in their feedback. It was just they were very specific about everything I was doing wrong and needed to fix.
Yeah. And that's the thing about, even here, sometimes in the comments, people are like, LCK tends to go on a tangent. It's a TikTok live. We are not an ABC News production. This is not a Purdue show. If you cannot take my tangent, don't come at me. Like, it's a live. The information is coming at us as we're having it. If my thought cannot come as it is and you can't take it like that, then maybe this is not the life for you.
Yeah, and I try to let folks know too that a live has a very different vibe
than a pre-recorded show.
Yeah, a pre-recorded show, you're going to get a package. This is literally us just thinking on the fly as things are happening. But anyways, with that said, it is very sad. Could you repeat his final
His
message
last
again?
text. Yeah. So he sends Blake's number. Thank you. I have a feeling she'll become a client down the line. So it's a win-win. I'm working on building significant trust with her, and helping her here is going to be really helpful. I want her to be healthy and happy for the film. You rock. And this is March 29th, 2023. This man knew nothing. You know nothing.
Little did he know. You know what? It's interesting because in a way it feels like she was his downfall, but I actually think he's her downfall. Or actually, I think she's her own downfall now that I think about it.
Yeah.
She literally, she put herself on blast. She harmed herself.
But
I know that right now the Blake Lively folks are having a field day with that video, and I guess TMZ picked it up or whatever. And the one of the comment, like one of those what do you call it, content creators that shall not be named, but is Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Reynolds Light, and Ryan Reynolds Minion. Begging to be part of the mafia, but is just a minion. That person. Anyways, he apparently was upset that he didn't get the proper credit. For I'm like, sir, you want the credit until you get the smoke. And then you will, because the question then, sir, is like, how did you get this audio? That's so stripped back.
And some of his people found his way in my comments because I made my video about it. And they were like, well, you should give proper credit. And I said, little bitch, let me tell you exactly how I came by this information. I kept Bocce up while her eyes were rolling to the side. And I stripped this audio down to 0.5.75. It literally happened in real time on live. I don't follow this man. I only go on X to watch sports and talk shit about the Miami Heat and everybody else. I'm a Miami Heat fan, but they play too much. We literally, there is a live video of us figuring this out in real time. So how are you looking at me talking about something? You need to give that man credit. He figured this out. Girl, get out of my face.
I'm over here begging you to please stop.
Stop. And I'm like, no, Bocce, give me 5 more minutes.
Sleep, all right?
I can't prove my point. And I'm like, did he also figure out that Jenny Slate touched Justin's arm? Because I figured that out. I would like credit if anybody else uses that. Did they figure out that Blake said, oh, listen, we literally figured that out on live together. So why you think I'm about to give some man credit for things that I figured out while Bocce was trying to go to bed? Hell, for all we know, he wasn't here with a burner account last night.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I didn't listen to the one that's on TMZ because again, I really do try to avoid, I do try to actively avoid social media, I mean, not social media, but like news articles. And the only time I try to read those things is if it hits the docket. Once it hits the docket, I feel like I need to have context. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to find out, did he strip that sound himself? Because there are ways to do that, but I don't think that this particular video is supposed to have the sound.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not. Because this is from a phone. I don't think it's from production because there's no timestamp, there's no rolling video, nothing. It looks like it's from a cell phone. Yeah,
so I have a lot of questions that if he wants credit for it, how did he get such a... Because I'm hearing from folks is a very stripped back...
I haven't heard it, I don't know.
I haven't heard it myself. So maybe they're misrepresenting it to me or misunderstanding how... But they said it was a very stripped back sound. And so it's going to be really interesting. But anyways, with that said,
somebody's saying there's two sounds. Yes, we haven't heard the sound from the mic. That hasn't made it on its way to the docket at the very least. But we are expecting, which we talked about on live, we are definitely expecting something to come that's directly from their mics from filming. Everything we figured out on live yesterday, we just slowed down the actual camera footage. So it's very distorted. Bocce still doesn't believe half of the things I said.
I mean, it's not that I don't believe you. I'm sure you see it and hear it. It's just I have to. It's so funny, Elsridge. I told you I did Lucala content prior to this. And let me tell you, there were this audio in one of the scenes in Bridgerton, and we slowed it down, sped it up, we dissected that thing out the wazoo. So this is nothing new for me, where everybody's like, I heard this, and other people are like, I didn't
hear it, yeah.
With that said, the next one we're going to read is 963-83. 963-83.
Give me a second.
And with this one, let's see if we need more than ourselves. But we need an Ange, Justin. Okay, I think it's just Ange and Justin, so we're fine.
Okay. 83?
Yeah. Do you want to be Ange or do you want to be Justin?
I'll stay in character and be Justin.
Okay.
Oh, Henny. It's finally Henny.
Yeah, this is April 28, 2023.
All right.
Ring me when you can, love.
Oh. Justin sends an attachment as a text attachment and then losing service. I'll do everything I can to shoot our film.
Gotcha. Okay, I will update Sony. You are going to try and get as much tasteful hot sex as you can, and we decide in post if PG-13 or R. I'm going to set meeting with our ratings board head Monday or Tuesday. You'll find out if we are PG-13. You find out if we are PG-13. Will Colleen be okay? And does she think her readers will be okay?
83, Carol. 963, 83. And look for alts for fucks, etc. But I need to know if I can say I want to fuck you. It's so important. Not having that in there will kill it.
And Ange loved that. And I think, again, I did not read the book, but I heard that it's probably a significant.
People say that. I didn't read the book either, yeah.
So also, can you guys fit in keep swimming in IR? I don't know what that means.
I think that's in no room. I think that's an N that's cut off, or maybe it is IR.
No room. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, can you guys fit in keep swimming in no room with strong oak thing? I'm sure fans of the book know what that means, but I do not. Those fans quite keep swimming on everything. What? I hate typos.
Those fans, like the book fans. First, I thought that she meant fans, but I think the book fans can keep. I don't know what that says. Quite keep swimming on everything. I don't know.
I know. I cannot stand typos. It throws me off. Let's
see if maybe Justin fixes it or makes it make sense. Okay, so that jumps and Justin responds, Wednesday for meeting, text count Monday and Tuesday. He doesn't. I know. I don't know how.
Well, your day ends much later than us. I will ask Jamie to set. We'll figure it out.
And Justin liked that.
Okay.
That's it.
That's all that is in that one. Mm-hmm. The next one is Exhibit 84 of 963. So 963-84.
Okay.
And this one's April 30.
Okay.
And this is going to be between Justin and Colleen Hoover.
Okay. Do you guys want me to flip my camera or you don't mind staring at my face? Okay. All right. So, Justin is first. He says, hi, exclamation point. Oh, man, sounds terrible. Time for you to fly private. Which pick? Here's us together. And they're hugging in the picture. I'll just flip it and show you guys because I don't want to describe a picture.
Better days.
I don't want to say because I know it's fake. So I don't care anymore.
Well, I don't know if it was fake in the beginning. I really don't. I think she got enamored by Blake Lively, you know?
So it's Justin and Colleen hugging, but it means nothing to me.
You're like, you're dead to me.
Yeah, she's dead to me. Legit.
I mean, she was never a thing to me, so she can't.
Yeah, I mean, she was never a thing to me.
She never made a blip in my life, so it doesn't change much of anything.
Yeah, but I only give a person one chance to fuck me over, and she took a. Yeah, I'm not doing it. All right, so Justin, after that,
ride or die for JB. You're Ari, the Ari Emanuel of it all.
I'm not neutral at all. Don't get it twisted ever. If I ever seem neutral, they got my kid in the back. Just know that. If I ever come here and I'm neutral, somebody's kidnapped my child. Just know that. Justin text, Blake has most recent drafts with her. Seeing her tomorrow, can send them if that works. We are basically going through and adjusting each scene. We'll need your feedback on all of it.
Yeah,
I think it's an it. My autocorrect has done that before.
Here's the thing about that. Let me pause, double check that I'm saying this correctly before I say it. Okay. Hold on. Un momento.
Mm-hmm. How many mementos do you think you would need?
It depends on how quickly this thing finds it.
I'm taking a quick break. 1 second.
Oh my God. Just kidding.
You know what? Did you give it to him?
I'm gonna mute you for while you're figuring I'm trying that out. I just want to make sure I've got it the right one. No? Okay, never mind. This is when they fly out, actually. So on April 28, they said Baldoni flies to Los Angeles from New York with Lively and her family. For the duration of the flight, Baldoni and Lively work on the script. On April 30, 2023, they return together to New York. So on April 30, okay. And so he's talking about this is April 30 right now. Okay. And so he says we're basically going through and adjusting each scene. We will need your feedback on all of it. Okay. So then Colleen says, haha, my son's flight was just canceled. Crying, laughing emoji. I don't know how to fly private. Like, where are the secret networks I can find out about this stuff? I've literally been trying to get home since Friday. And this one Jamey sent, and then sent some photo.
Let me ask Blake. Let me ask Blake if the timing was impeccable. I got back just in time. Let me ask Blake if she's okay with it when I see her today. And then Justin also sends an article. And then Justin says, this is semi-private and super easy.
Thanks for this. And if you want to get me something updated, I'll commit my whole day to it today or tomorrow.
That would be amazing. Oh, okay. Colleen sends an essay, a dissertation.
Yeah. I don't have script notes yet, but I want to give my thoughts as a viewer of movies rather than a writer of books real quick. The first kiss is the most important part. Some movies put so little emphasis on it, but it's the thing we wait for, the build-up, the what made them kiss at this point moment. So the convo that leads up to that first kiss needs to be something emotionally impactful, even if it's just one sentence, something that makes each of them give up fighting against this moment. I think where everyone gets it wrong is they think it's the sexual attraction that we want to see, but it isn't. We know there's sexual attraction. We see it, but we want that first kiss to be powerful in so much more than a sexual way. As far as sex scenes you asked me about, there are readers who love to read those, which is why I put them in the books. But as an author and a reader, I much prefer the stolen glances, hand grazes, things like that in a movie. It's fun sitting alone and reading detailed sex scenes to some people, but not many want to be in a theater watching them. That's probably true. In movies, it's way more important we see those angsty looks and forbidden small touches, flirtation, than any extended sex scene. Fade to black is always nice in movies. Some of these movies that focus on romance think women want to watch sex, but they couldn't be more wrong. We want to watch love and emotions and angst and build-up. Then using our imaginations from there is fine. Anyway, not saying this as a reader of the script because I have no idea what you guys have done with these parts of it. But I wanted to give my thoughts on the overall idea I would love to see as a viewer. I have no doubt you and Blake will be convincing and can't wait to see the script updates. Okay, before you start reading, I will say I don't remember the first kiss at all.
I don't either. I think it was supposed to be on the rooftop.
I do not remember.
Did it happen on the rooftop? Or no, it's when they come out the bar and I think he's pretty much like begging to kiss her. Isn't that when she had like the onesie and the jacket on? I think it's then. I think he pretty much like begs for it damn near. Like, I want to kiss you, I have to kiss you, something like that.
Oh, it's Carol said it's on the street. Okay, then I do remember.
It's on the street, in the jacket, with the Bodhi bag that Isabella Ferrer later holding in her apartment.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was a little bit forgettable because I genuinely couldn't remember. Okay.
Yeah, the only reason I remember is because I remember him begging for it and then being on the street. And we've seen that street picture so many times of her biting his lip. That's why it's in my memory. I've seen that movie one time and I don't think I retain much from that. All right. So Justin emphasizes the part of the message where Colleen says, I don't have script notes yet, but I wanted to give blah, blah, blah. Then his message actually comes. Oh, here we go. That's actually what Blake wants too, referring to everything Colleen just said. She never read the book and doesn't want to make. I wasn't going to do anything because y'all hate when I ad lib.
Okay. I just wanted to say.
I know.
Okay. Good.
See, Bachi's getting out of character now. It's not me. That's actually what Blake wants too. She never read the book. And doesn't want to make a raunchy movie, which I agree with. The question is, will people be upset if we go PG-13 instead of rated R, because the book is so filled with sex? Like, if he doesn't say, I want to fuck you, what's he say, etc. And then he sends a picture of Isabella Ferrer. Let me do it like this. Oh, my camera flipped easily. Wow, look at God. Then he sends a picture of Isabella Ferrer looking like a Blake lookalike. Shit can be eerie sometimes, honestly.
OMG, it's Blake. Crying, laughing emoji. How? Okay, let me simmer on this question. I actually like that she hasn't read the book. Oh, no wonder.
Oh, wow.
Wow, okay.
She said that?
Yeah, I actually like that she hasn't read the book. I think it's important to have both sides of input.
Crazy, right?
Oh, but he loved that comment. What was he gonna do?
Oh, I mean, if the writer is saying, I love that the girl hasn't read the book, what are we gonna do? She's the writer. What do you want me to do?
She's like, I'm glad nobody's reading. I'm glad she's not one of my customers. I mean, not one of my consumers.
And also, you know,
I applaud her for not spending time reading my book.
And at this point, Colleen is doing everything she can to get in good with Blake. So she's like, if she hasn't read the book, so what? Like, that's my girl. She doesn't have to. You know what? Maybe she'll bring something new to it. Yeah, she did.
We haven't even started filming at all on here. Yeah. She replies, I don't think the book is filled with sex. 2 scenes or 3. I don't think it's the sex readers are hoping translates into the movie. Now, as far as the rating, how many Fs can you say? Any? At all? Because I think if we need to cut down, the most important one is when Ryle says, Atlas, the homeless guy you pity effed. I think there's a way to make the rooftop scene where he says, I want to F you so good without the awkward line and without readers even noticing it isn't there. Things like that don't translate well to film. That's where I felt 50 Shades got it wrong sometimes.
What does Colleen know exactly about filmmaking? Doesn't she have an interview where she specifically says she knows nothing about filmmaking, but now she knows what translates well to film and doesn't?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, she has her own production company at this point.
Girl,
right?
Girl, bye, please. And then Justin sends a bunch of hearts.
Honestly, this book did not resonate at all for the sex. It was the emotion. Johanna made me add an extra one because she knows that's what readers want in their books. But don't worry. Okay, wait, what? Okay, she said, honestly, this book did not resonate at all for the sex. It was the emotion. But Johanna made me add an extra one because she knows that's what readers want in the book. Which one is it? It's not about the sex, but then
again, the book is not really real, so I guess you could add stuff in there because
no. I mean, it was. No, I'm saying she's saying it's not about the sex, but she's saying that Johanna made her add another one because that's what the readers want. So
but I'm also go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, which one is it?
My point that I'm making is because the book is not real, that's why Johanna could convince her to add an extra one, and that's why she doesn't know if the book is about sex or not. Because on one day, oh yes, it's about my mom, for sure. On another day, it's really barely based on my mom. She can't decide if the book is real or not. That's why another person can convince you to add sex in there that didn't exist. Therefore, this lady's a scammer.
Well, I mean, to me, what stands out is literally one sentence. She's saying the book is not about resonating at all with the sex, and then next thing saying that Johanna had to have her add an extra scene because that's what the readers want. So which one is it? Are they resonating with the sex, or is they're
resonating with whatever Carly wants to put in the book because she's writing shit from her head. It's not real. And that's what she needs to stop doing, is telling people this is a story about her mom. I hate that shit. It's not. You wouldn't make a coloring book about your mom falling down the damn stairs. Like, we're not doing that. Let's not do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not about like her promotion of how she already got backlash for that.
Somebody said to Colleen read the book. That's a good one.
But don't be worried about this movie. But don't be worried about this movie not being sexy enough. I think it's important. And, she used sexy. Back it up, Colleen. Mm-hmm. How dare you? Why are you using that word?
It was a sexy culture.
Blake Lively says a no.
The set was a sexy hugging culture. Oh my God. It was such a sexy culture. I mean, the boots were sexy. The outfits were sexy. The words sparkled. It was a sexy culture. Justin should have used that in his CRD complaint. Jesus, they got me calling CRD complaints over there. He should have used that in his lawsuit.
Yeah, I think it's but don't be worried about this movie not being sexy enough. I think it's important and it needs to be seen by teenagers too. And teenagers love angst and sexiness and emotion and anger and a few bad words. LOL.
Justin loves that honestly this book did not resonate for the sex. And then he says, okay, exclamation point. I'm guessing to all that. And then he says, you're awesome. And then he says, I think I've been afraid to take the readers in a different direction, but it feels like that's what the movie wants. More about the love story with Ryle and Lily. We have to believe they love each other for us to not judge her for staying. It's different in the book when you have hundreds of pages, but we only have 45 minutes. So what is the episode of SVU?
So true. I know we're both swamped, but if you want to Zoom at some point and go through the script, let me know. No one knows my readers better than me, and no one will eventually know the viewers better than you.
I do, I do, I do. I'm so sorry. The cohorts might have something to say about that, Colleen, because them girl, they've been wanting smoke with you for a while about your writing. But okay. Justin responds, I do, I do, I do. Blake and I are on flight writing now. I think it's getting really good and interesting. Oh, poor Justin. There's a big writer strike midnight tomorrow, so we need to finish the script, and then any changes we make have to be not official.
Oh, dang, I didn't realize that was tomorrow night. Okay, I just landed, but I did read the whole old draft I had on the plane and made notes. Let me know tomorrow at any point you're free, and I'm yours.
Send me those notes and I'll apply what I can. And
Okay.
see.
That was April 30. So then the next one that we're going to do is on May 30. And this is between him and Alex Sachs, and it is 963-98.
Got you. All right. Justin sends, what do you think? And there's an attachment. I feel like it's got everything.
Okay, much better in my opinion. I just read it real quick.
Feels good.
He did answer the question though. Kind of that tripped me. Okay, then I'm gonna read real quick. It's a screenshot, and it says here, you asked me for something recent and I gave it to you. If you were into it, I would take you downstairs to my bedroom and I would F you. And then it says, share the sexiest silence you've ever seen. And Lily says, how many women has this worked on? Ryle says, would you believe me if I said you're the first? Lily says, no, you didn't answer my question. Smiles. And then Ryle says, there's no good answer to that question. Love isn't for me. Lust, on the other hand. Lily says, I'm not one to sleep with someone I just met. And Ryle looking down on her lips again. And then Ryle says, okay, then we'll, if you want to sleep with someone you just met, exactly how far would you go? This could go either way. Then in a whisper, and then it cuts off. So this is a yellow revision. So this was a yellow revision that they're showing, and this is, again, May 30th. And so when it's a yellow revision, that is what? That's version 4. They're on their 4th version of the script by that point, if that's yellow. So. And then, an answer not answered.
Oh yeah, we can cut that. Just go no. And then I'm not a relationship person.
Bingo. And we say blossom at the end, which I love.
Where?
Did they say it before then in the name exchange of it all?
Yeah. Yes. Hi, can I send you my notes to Jenny and Blake? I think it's best for you to share with them if they want to receive it.
Absolutely.
Hi, Jenny. First off, thank you for putting your all into the film. I recognize that the last few days of filming have been difficult, but I wanted you to know that the work is really great and I'm excited for what we are creating. Equally important is that I was made aware of your concerns. I wanted you to know that they are fully received. I hear you, and adjustments will be made accordingly. I appreciate your feedback, and I'm really looking forward to working with you at the end of the week. Justin, Blake, I really hope that baby B is okay and your symptoms are getting better. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I want you to know that I've been made aware of your concerns and I hear you. They're fully received and adjustments will be made imminently. Also, the dailies are looking wonderful. And while the last 2 days were tough, I assure you that your work was fantastic. I truly believe you're creating one of your
Oops. Sorry. I gave the wrong answer to Carol. It's 963.98, not 989. I know.
Can I go?
Yeah, you can go.
I truly believe you're creating one of your most honest performances that will have a long-lasting and powerful impact.
But Elsridge, why are you laughing about that? That's true. It has had a long-lasting and powerful impact.
Ooh, look at my eyes.
It definitely has had a long lasting.
Give me a second, I'll read through it again and I'll be so serious.
Okay.
Oh, I assure you that your work has was fantastic. I truly believe you're creating one of your most honest performances that will have a long lasting and powerful impact. Look forward to working with you when you feel better, Justin.
I love both.
Thank you. Go ahead and share if they want to receive them. Appreciate you.
I will ask them both tomorrow when I speak with them, and then loved, appreciate you, and said thank you.
Holy shit, Justin.
He believed it.
This shit is really going to be impactful at the end of the day.
Oh my! Well, no, like Rena said, truer words have not been spoken. LOL. Oh, wait.
But why did he lie to her like
truer
that?
words have been spoken.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Yeah.
That makes this the truest words ever.
I mean, we're here a year and some whatever, right?
Later, my eyes are literally red.
This was May 30, 20. This has been 2 years. 2+ years.
Very impactful performance. Very. You did your big one.
Yeah, she definitely did. She definitely did a doozy. For sure.
That's wild. Oh, Justin, you're a funny man.
I just realized how, like, when we were having that laugh fest that one night and I couldn't function, I was like, this is what it's like. This is
what it's like. Oh my God. Okay, what's the next one?
So the next one that we're going to is 12/28/2023. And it's docket number 963-114.
Okay, I'm there. That was funny, Justin. You're a funny, funny man. All right. Henny. Dang, Henny. This is a dissertation. Okay.
Well, he's known for hanging out with Blake by that point.
Let me crack my neck. All right. This is what I'm sending. Hey, team. I have added in Chris Sargent, RAD, here to have eyes on. Okay. Hey, team. I've added Chris Sargent, RAD, here to have eyes on. I hate the non-punctuation, Justin. I'm so sorry. What is this?
Well, I have added to have eyes on this so he can digest at the same time.
Okay, I got it. I have added Chris Sargent, our AD, here to have eyes on this so he can digest at the same time as all of you. I've spent the better part of the last few days trying to figure this out. Everyone knows how I feel about all of this and how angry I am that the system is so broken. It's letting Blake take over a film and rewrite a movie we spent years developing, writing, and funding. So yes, I am furious and sad, but I will continue to get back up with a goal of getting us to the finish line. All right, let me make this bigger because my eye is bad. I have come to terms with the fact that the only way out is through. I am waving the white flag and submitting. I am going to give her 98% of what she wants. Damn. The damn was me. I'm sure none of us have the energy to fight anymore. That's double. The team who has been working their ass off needs a shooting script on January 2nd. So here's where we are. There are minor things I did to each scene. Some I made notes on and tiny ones I didn't. Most of what I touch is below. The big issues are going to be the intimacy, how and what we are shooting for those scenes, and how the script is going to be presented to her with what notes. To that end, we all need to get on the phone and talk through this as the risk of something innocuous or not meeting her standards could and would very likely be used against me, as it already has. And creativity is impossible in an environment shrouded in fear. By now, we all know what she's capable of. The rest of the notes below, we need to walk through together. Let me know when we can all hop on a Zoom tomorrow. I am hopeful we can find a path forward together, but we must now act as one. Justin, this is December 28, 2023. What do you need, Papa?
I'm going to mute you for a second. Oh, wait.
Good.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Much better. I would change one other thing. First paragraph, you say, everyone knows how I feel about this and how angry I am that the system. Just say, everyone knows how I feel about this and how angry I am that Blake has taken over the film. Cut to that portion.
Okay. All this and how angry I am that Blake has taken over our film. So this is his edit, by the way, and somehow rewrote a movie we spent years developing, writing, and funding. So yes, I am furious and sad, but I will continue to get back up with a goal of getting us to the finish line.
Better, thank you. So so originally it said he was blaming the system that was
Yeah.
allowing Blake to do this. And he's like, you don't need to blame the system. Just blame
Yeah.
just blame
But
Blake.
I love, you know what though? Jamie throughout has been able to put everything aside and had like a his head on a swivel, but also very straight on with editing Justin's emotions out of text messages. He knows him, I guess, that well enough to know like, this is your ego or emotion coming out here. Don't put the system on there because we're trying to get to a point here. And I like that Jamie has been able to keep his head on straight enough to like do those little fixes. It may seem so minuscule, but I feel like at the end of the day, those are like big things. Very, very level headed.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I can see why he's a mentor to him.
Yeah.
You have all the right to feel it all. Everyone doesn't need to know it all of what we feel in the moment. Thanks for taking my thoughts and implementing them.
I'm going to say again, I like that he doesn't dismiss him. He allows him and he agrees with his feelings, but he said, between me and you, this is very valid. If you want to crash out between me and you, we could do that. But I don't think the world needs to see your crash out. So let's make these changes. And I love that so much. Because me, I'm like, let's burn this shit down. All right.
Don't be a little pyro.
You love that. You love that, Bachi. All right. I almost said I'm botching. So Justin writes, BCCing John Logan, like like in the emails, but I almost said I'm botching for some reason. So he can have eyes from our side.
Okay.
Let him know, please. Hope you're feeling better.
Thank you, I will. You too, I love you.
Aw.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love romances.
I love it. You know, it was a lovely culture, a sexy hugging culture. Love yous and everything were being thrown around. Check email.
At urgent care for the next bit. Don't think I'll make it. Everything is fine.
Urgent care for who? Damn, they cut us off.
They said you don't need to know.
You don't need to know all that.
So the next one that we're going to read is Exhibit 963-117, and this is going to be January 19. This is the day they officially execute the 17-point side agreement.
Wait, are we skipping over the email? Oh, we're only doing the text. I'm like, there's an email to Ange on the 15th.
Yeah, we're only doing the text messages.
All right, so we're jumping to 117. Okay. What are my Miami Heat doing? Oh, these motherfuckers. Okay. I'm good. I'm not mad.
Oh, this is we've read this. We've read these, but I put it on the thingy-majiggy, but I think it's still important to put it on here.
Okay.
So I start off with any update, brothers.
All right. Sorry for not
Rain Wilson.
All right. So that's Rain and Justin. This is after the meeting.
It's 117. Oh
yes.
Yeah. Why did I put that it was 119? This one is on 15, not 119. Okay. Sorry. Continue.
Okay. So this is after Justin has the infamous lunch berating meeting. Rain is asking any update. Justin responds, sorry for not giving an update. Last night was one of the hardest nights of my life. It's hard to describe what happened exactly. The only way to describe it was an ambush. I had no words. I couldn't formulate sentences. My brain was trying to defend itself when they were needing me to apologize for all the ways I have fucked up and made her feel unsafe. Ryan was talking to me like a 5-year-old and scolding me. They essentially said that Jamey and I are not who we claim to be, and that for us to have podcasts, it is unsafe to make people feel like we are safe. Dang. I was read from a phone of all of the things that I did, while many of them were based in actual situations. The events were wrong and things were taken completely out of context. The word creepy and abuse were used in reference to me and my behavior. I was then given the words of what to say and had to apologize, which I was unable to do because my brain was trying to comprehend what was happening. I was in shock and basically went into feeling like I was a 7-year-old again. I like how his age kind of went up. He went from when he was 5 and now he's 7. He's like picking moments in his. I love that. It's like, once I was 7 years old, my mama told me. All right, I did not mean to make that light. It's not light at all, but my brain just picked it up for some reason. All right, I was a 7-year-old. Again, when I got home last night, I was emotionally paralyzed. It was as bad as it sounds. Jamey did a beautiful job apologizing. I just did not have the words. I was embarrassed for myself as it happened in front of the team, but I was embarrassed that I was unable to even formulate the correct words to apologize and honestly just say, like, I feel like a bad person. It's hard to feel so much of what they believe about me is false because they are so convinced that it's real. Looking for the nuggets of learning, which there are many and somehow have shown up today. Thanks to Jamey and my wife, we are currently shooting. I love you all. I read that like that shows from memory. Jesus, I've read this like 3 times. All right, Justin again. My brain was struggling because what I had to say. My brain was struggling because what I wanted to say and do was run and blow this whole movie up. I wish you had, because I feel this was unjust, and yet the only path forward was to acknowledge her and Ryan's feelings and apologize and take the wrath of an angry husband. Yeah, I couldn't even do that correctly. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed for the words, and it didn't come. So I felt abandoned by God in that moment, and even though I know that's not what happened. Can I just take a pause really quickly? And I've said this before, everybody's heard me say this before, but the fact that he mentions here that he prayed and he felt like God had abandoned him, I always say that God is not going to come when you call him, but he'll be on time. And if you're Justin, you don't want God to come in that moment when Justin is berating you, when Ryan is berating you. You want him to come now when the world is seeing everything and the world is literally protecting you. You're sitting back and watch God show up on time, like just in time. So if you're him, you prayed for this moment, not whatever was happening in Ryan's apartment. You prayed for the world to see the truth about who you are and now. So I thought that was so powerful. We were told this was the worst experience of her life. Please. She said to Megan,
she's the worst experience of my life. I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
I have never had a worse experience than
and she
having
told
to deal
Megan
with.
2 weeks she's had worse.
Yeah.
So what is she talking about? Girl, bye.
No, I'm really saying, Elsridge, I'm being serious right now.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
She literally is the worst experience of my life. That's why I'm so excited for March. I never want to think about her again.
Yeah.
If I can help it. The only reason that she's even in my vocabulary or my thought pattern is because I have to in order to be factual in this whole thing. What in the... Oh, I was like,
by 2 motherfucking points. I told you the Miami Heat stressed me out. They won by 2 motherfucking points. 2. Thank God I didn't see it live because I'd have had heart palpitations. Okay. All right. We were told this was the worst experience of her life, and others have witnessed this behavior, and the behavior on our set was creepy. I was emotionally paralyzed, which is something I haven't experienced in years, he means. Because this was a dictation, so he says I haven't experienced, but I think he means I haven't experienced. He tells Rain, imagine that meeting all those years ago as Soul Pancake with Gorriz, but times that by about 100. I spoke to my therapist for about an hour, and she tried to get me out of the haze as I literally couldn't get myself off the couch. I don't know how I will make it through, but I know that I will. And just knowing you're all there for me means the world to me, because even with Jamey here and my wife and my family, I've never felt so alone. Putting a smile on, doing my best to lead the crew. I will unpack and process this when we wrap, of course. I apologize for the vulnerability dump. This is one of the few safe spaces I have right now. I love you all and thank you for your prayers. Sorry for the dictation grammar. Of course, I'm in between shots.
And so I'm going to read all of the rest of the folks. So a redacted person said, Justin, you were ambushed. You reacted the only way you could. Hold on to your beliefs and keep moving forward. God is all glorious and is with you. Our prayers for strength and protection continue. We are with you in spirit and love you with all our hearts. Rain Wilson said, oh my God, I can't believe it. You were set up and ambushed and personally attacked. I'm stunned. I completely relate to you being stunned, like a deer in the headlights. Probably better that you didn't immediately just start apologizing. So grateful that Jamey is your partner and could step in diplomatically as needed. Onward, brother. Make a great and important and entertaining piece of storytelling. That's all you can do now. So sorry for what you went through. And then a redacted name again said, I love you all and will keep praying for you. Congrats on getting them back to film, even though you feel like you have been through a war. God answers all of our prayers, just not in ways that are obvious at the time. You have many friends who love you, and you are connected to your soul. And Travis Van Winkle said, love you two so much. You're both freaking warriors. All right. So the next one we're going to do is docket number 963-127.
I'm there. This February 22nd.
Yeah, February 22nd, 2024.
It's just me by my lonesome.
Yeah.
All right, it's Henny Grace, our fave. If you have 5 minutes to meditate on another... if you have 5 minutes to meditate on another predicament, I was like, what is happening? We got the call today that Blake won't promote the movie unless I let her in the edit with me.
Okay. People always said, where's the proof that she ever threatened that? I mean, again, it doesn't show her threatening it, but it does show real time that that's what they were learning.
All right.
Okay. So the next thing, the next one is going to be docket number 964, not 963, but 964-128.
Okay. 128, 128. All right.
And so we need another person. Is Carol here?
Carol. I could do another voice.
But if Carol's here,
Carol.
yeah, let's get you in here, Carol. Let's see. So, right now we have Stephanie Jones, Jennifer Abel, Justin Baldoni.
Okay, hold on. I'm pulling it up. What,
So
960?
Yeah,
964?
964-128.
964.
And we know Ellsridge is going to be Justin. Do you want to be Stephanie Jones or Jennifer Abel?
Oh, God, no. No, just kidding. Yeah, I could be either one. So I'll be Stephanie Jones. That's fine.
Okay,
Carol,
Jones?
Carol drew the short straw.
So you want to be Stephanie Jones?
Yeah,
Not
I could
that
be.
you want to be, but you're willing to be Stephanie
Oh,
Jones?
gosh. I'll be Stephanie Jones. I'll take the
You
bullet.
will make it through.
Okay, again, this is May 1, 2024. Go ahead, Carol.
Okay. Jen, did they get back to you? Justin said he could ask them if we want him to.
Hi, I can bring it back up to them. Steph, I know you were thinking about going back to New York a couple days this week before coming back to LA this weekend. So we were going to look at other times. You could see it in New York when you're home.
I'm in LA until next Monday. If you can add me to the email, I can handle it. Thanks.
If you have time this week, I'll nudge Danny and see if you can come to the lot.
I want my agents to see as well, so maybe the three of them can see together. Just say I would like the three of them to see it.
Great. Walking into the office, I'll send a note shortly. And then loved, I want my agents. Do you have the edit from Blake yet?
She won't sign her contract or approve trailer. She's gone dark until she gets another 8 days with her own editor. So we're in a standoff.
Stop it right now.
I've already given her 10 days with my editor. Steph, you have no idea.
It's such unacceptable, but not surprising behavior.
It's such unacceptable.
Oh, such unacceptable, but not surprising behavior.
Stephanie Jones, the liar that you are. Okay, so Jamey has gone back and said she can have the extra 8 days to get her ideas out, but she has to sign her contract.
But did she? That is a hard no.
And
Why?
Stephanie talking about
Because Sony came up and please don't make her sign her contract. Please, we have no spine. But we're begging.
no, but does Blake know Stephanie Jones was out here talking about it's such unacceptable but not surprising behavior about her bestie?
Oh, and then she's out here giving her all the stuff without. Okay,
Guys,
so the next one we're going back.
I was going to say, I did run that metadata on that film, on the 281 video. It is not a phone camera. It is like an $11,000 camera.
Oh.
So it looks like it was a Sony equipment. It told me the camera that was used and everything.
I mean, but it has to be maybe B-roll or behind the scenes or something, because that's definitely not what they used to film the movie. So, okay. What's the next attachment?
Now we're going back to 963, and we're going to 81.
Okay.
963 and 81. Is there a role for me?
You're going to be Melissa.
Okay, give me just 1 second. I'm going over there. 963.81. Right?
Yes. Again, this is August 14, 2024.
Sorry, guys. 963.81. I pulled it up. Okay, ready.
All right. Just woke up, texting Jennifer. With all the text I'm getting, worried about me, I imagine the truce didn't last.
The truce is still on, but this is what we knew would start to happen. More and more people from production, from the crew, people with knowledge are speaking to the media in your defense. And while their intentions are good and they want to support you and defend you, it's adding more narrative and giving this life. There was someone who called TMZ to support you and say how much you are liked and how ridiculous Blake's claims are, but in turn shared that you had asked the trainer how much she weighed because you wanted to train to lift her, and also that she was making a big deal about an on-set kiss that lingered. We balanced it and provided context that you were worried about your back, etc., and the article, minus the clickbait headline, is very much in your favor. So that's the new news cycle today. It's not Leslie. It's not Blake's team, because it actually makes her out to be worse. Okay, so then I just wanted to say real quick. I said this to Elsridge today. I did not know that didn't come from their camp, because I really thought he did.
Yeah. And then Justin responds, though, who could have known that? Please make sure they know at TMZ it was my trainer too, which is, I mean, I guess that was important too. But him asking who could have known that, like he's trying to figure out who is so close to me. As much as we're trying to say it's not from Leslie, though, TMZ is saying it was a close person, but Justin is trying to figure out who is close enough to me to call TMZ that would have that information. So I was going to text you back. I'm like, that's still making me trip out a bit. Like, if he doesn't know who would know that, do we really know that it wasn't Leslie? Because Leslie could have had somebody on the street from Chick-fil-A be like, hey, call and tell TMZ this for me.
Yeah.
But him saying who could have known that made me think. I forgot to text you because I was at my doctor's, which I ended up not getting a shot. I'll explain later. But they're like, he's like, who could have known that? So I was like, I wonder if you think that still means it could have been them, playing like it's not them. Like the whole give good context, but like make it seem like it's pro Justin, but still get the whole weight information out there.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Leslie wouldn't lie.
I will say this. This makes way more sense when they reached out about like HR complaints, and you see something about like Jen Abel said, just let it be like the whole fat shaming and lingering kiss just stand on its own or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The rest of the article is doing like
something. I don't know. I can't remember now all the pieces of it. But I think the next text that's from you is a really important one, because I think people need to get it.
Okay, so then I'm gonna reread that again. So Justin responds to that. Who could have known that? Please make sure they know at TMZ it was my trainer too. We shared a trainer per her suggestion.
A lot of people, this has been over a year, and yes, it was your on-set trainer, not her trainer.
But he was a damn spy. If it becomes a thing, we can say my hospital infection was due to me getting stem cells in my herniated disc in my back because I was in so much discomfort. I relate, brother. And you can point to my IG posts from stem cells results that I'm going back to get it done for my herniated disc in my back.
But 100%. But TMZ already included your history of back issues and the concern of training so you wouldn't hurt your back. The positioning is all there and good. The texts you are getting are likely because friends are wanting to come to your defense and support, which is good. You have a really wonderful support group around you.
Praying hands, praying hands, praying hands, praying hands.
And then Melissa loved the 100% comment that Jennifer Abel just read.
Okay, Justin sends an attachment. It's like a text attachment. Says old assistant sent me this.
Adore redacted, and know he's coming from a good place and sharing his opinion, but ultimately and respectfully disagree. It is not an unusual thing for a celeb who is in the midst of a crisis to hire a crisis firm to help handle. This was announced when you were already being clearly attacked in the media. We are just as surprised that it became news, but in
motion,
stop reading and check chat, please.
Denied in part, granted in part. Which sanctions?
Poor Jamey.
Someone is asking, can Elsrich unblock me? Why did I block you? Tell me why.
Usually there's a reason.
You would know. I don't know. There's too many of you.
You feel like I'm jumping up and down, waving my hands, check the docket.
Yeah, they're saying motion for sanctions granted in part, denied in part.
I have
Jamey. Jamey has to give video within 3 days. Wait, it's the same video though. So they want him to just give the same video again?
It says, Lively 6 sanction. Mr. Heath was offering any evidence, including written or oral testimony on the topic showing the birth video. Heath opposes the motion. The motion is granted in part, denied in part. Lively on August 4th, Lively moved to compel the Wayfair parties to produce a number of documents. Of particular relevance here, Lively complained that Heath had failed to show produce documents responsive to her request regarding her allegation that he had shown her and her assistant a video of his wife giving birth while on the set of It Ends With Us. In her complaint, Lively alleges that Mr. Heath approached her and her assistant on set and started playing a video of a full nude woman with her legs spread apart, and Miss Lively thought he was showing her pornography and stopped it. Mr. Heath explained that the video was his wife giving birth. The Wayfair party's complaint against Lively, meanwhile, asserts, and then he puts in the whole assertion. Should I read it or?
Yes.
Okay, Lively continued with this is the assertion, asserts the following. Lively continued with an outrageous and knowingly false allegation that she was shown pornography or naked images of Heath's wife on set. This allegation knowingly and maliciously misrepresents an instance when, in connection with the birth scene, Miss Heath, at the director's request, attempted to show Lively a video that demonstrated the director's vision for the scene. This video, which ultimately was not shown to Lively, is by all accounts beautiful. Oh, even though she stated she'd like to see it later as she was eating. Since Lively wanted to see it later, what she saw was a first image at the start of the video, which shows Heath's wife himself and a baby after his wife gave birth at home. A natural birth or home birth. Then he quotes some complaint, and then he says, Lively therefore maintains that she was shown a video of Heath's wife giving birth, while Heath maintains that he showed Lively only a video of himself, his wife, and their baby after the birth. Lively grounded her motion to compel documents concerning these allegations in her request for production number 2 and 108. Request for production number 2 states, if your answer to any allegation in the Lively complaint was or will be anything other than an unqualified admission, you must produce all documents and communications concerning such response. Request for production number 8 calls for all documents and communications concerning your allegation in paragraph 101 of the Wayfarer SDNY complaint that Miss Lively falsely suggested that she was shown pornography or naked images of Heath's wife on set. Heath did not oppose the motion to compel responses to these requests, and by order of August 27, 2025, the court granted Lively's motion as unopposed. The current dispute is whether the court's order granting the motion to compel required production not only of post-birth video Heath claims he showed Lively, but also footage which might support Lively's claim that she was shown a video of Heath's wife giving birth. Because the court's order encompassed more than the video Heath claims he showed Lively, the additional footage should have been produced. The local civil rules of the Southern District of New York establish certain uniform definitions governing discovery requests. Among the defined terms is concerning, which means relating to, referring to, describing, evidencing, and constituting. Thus, Lively's request for all documents and communications concerning your allegation in paragraph 101 of the Wayfarer SDNY complaint that Miss Lively falsely suggested that she was shown pornography or naked images of Heath's wife on set comprises documents that not only evidence Heath's claim that he shows Lively a post-birth video, but also documents more generally relating to the allegation that it was false, that Lively was shown naked images of Heath's wife, including ones that might support Lively's version of events. Amended complaint, that's a quotation. Put another way, paragraph 101 of the Wayfarer Party's complaint denies Lively's allegations that she was shown a video of Heath's wife giving birth. And it alleges instead that she was shown a post-birth video. Lively's request sought to probe that denial, that Heath possessed a video of the birth and not just the moments after the birth would tend to support Lively's claim and undermine Heath's allegations that Lively's claim was false. Accordingly, it was insufficient for Heath to produce only what he claimed to have shown Lively. The Wayfarer parties argue that Heath does not dispute that he showed Lively a post-birth video, and that the question of what Lively saw will not be resolved by the production of all footage. However, Heath does dispute that Lively was shown a video of his wife giving birth. At the time for Heath to have objected to producing all footage related to that issue was when Lively made her motion to compel, not after he was deposed and forced to admit the existence of these videos. Thus, while it may be undisputed at this point that footage exists that resemble what Lively claimed she saw, the question for present purposes is not whether producing the footage will decisively resolve exactly what she saw. Rather, the only question now before the court is whether it has already ordered production of the footage based on Heath's non-opposition. It has.
Okay, so pause there for a second, Carol.
Okay.
That makes me less mad, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because his point was like, look, this I'm not forcing him. This is literally he didn't oppose this, and so he was supposed to provide this. I'm just saying the reason it's supposed to be provided now is because it was supposed to be provided. Don't get mad at me that I'm saying this was already ordered and he didn't oppose it, and he should have opposed it then, is what his point was.
But
Okay.
when discovery closes and she didn't compel either, that's another point. But I mean, do you guys want to?
But
do you want
at the
to?
same time, he's just saying
Yeah.
he made a decision back then, and it was unopposed, and he's like just that. I think he just wants to make it clear that this is not a new ruling, but a reassertion of the ruling he had already made before.
Do you want to continue reading? I just got braces today, so my lips are hurting when I talk.
Okay, I can. The materials at issue are no doubt extremely sensitive and deeply personal. They therefore fall within the category of materials in litigation that, while potentially discoverable, are still subject to strict confidentiality provisions preventing public disclosure. The materials are subject to the protective order in this case, and given their sensitivity, it is highly unlikely that their disclosure could ever be warranted. In addition, so basically he's saying, y'all be sure that we are going to protect this and it's not going to get out to the public. Not that sometimes I trust some of these people that are involved in this whole thing, but still, he's just wanting to make sure that is not, he's doing everything in his power to protect it from being seen above where it needs to be seen. In addition to compelling production of the footage, Lively seeks to preclude Heath from offering evidence on the topic of his showing the birth video or any portion thereof to her. Docket number 892 at 3. That request is denied. Okay, so let me read that again. In addition to compelling production of the footage, Lively seeks to preclude Heath from offering evidence on this topic of his showing the birth video or any portion thereof to her. So she was trying to keep him from talking, and the judge says that request is denied. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 37B provides that if a party fails to obey an order to provide or permit discovery, the court where the action is pending may issue further just orders, including prohibiting the disobedient party from supporting or opposing designated claims or defenses, or from introducing designated matters in evidence. A district court has wide discretion in sanctioning litigants appearing before it. Among the factors a court is to consider in imposing sanctions under Rule 37B2 are 1. The willfulness of the non-compliant party or the reason for non-compliance. 2. The efficacy of lesser sanctions. 3. The duration of the period of non-compliance. And 4. Whether the non-compliant party had been warned of the consequences of non-compliance. These factors counsel against the relief Lively seeks. First, Heath argues that his failure to provide the footage was not willful because the best reading of the court's order was that he was only required to turn over the post-birth video described in the Wayfarer complaint. As already explained, the court disagrees with Heath regarding his reading of the prior order. Heath lodged no objection to producing all documents concerning the allegation that Lively falsely claimed to have been shown nude images of Heath's wife. And those documents included ones that not only supported Heath's allegation, but also any that might have supported Lively's. The court cannot say, however, that Heath's interpretation was so mistaken or unreasonable as to give rise to an inference of willfulness. Second, Heath had not been warned of the consequences of noncompliance. Third, and perhaps most importantly, lesser sanctions, namely production of the footage and payment of Lively's attorney's fees incurred in making this motion, are sufficient. The motion is therefore granted in part and denied in part. Heath shall produce the footage within 3 days of this order. The clerk of court is respectfully directed to close the motion at docket number 889. Alfred, you seems to be feeling a lot of things. Or are you self-soothing?
What did he deny? That the preclude of testimony?
Allowing him to speak, like defend himself? He denied that. Hold on. You look very upset, Elsridge. Or are you just thinking?
I don't know what else to do. At the end of the day, I don't care what the judge had to say. I don't care what he granted. I don't care what he denied. It's literally so black and white and cut and dry. So we're literally talking about the fact that Blake knowingly and her team are still literally talking about they want to see a birthing video. So we all agree it's a birthing video, right? At the end of the day, what else are you looking to see? You agree it's a birthing video. Whether you saw 2 seconds of it, 3 seconds of it, you know it's not what you thought it was. You told Jamey, you walked up to Jamey per his deposition. Hey, Jamey, you know, when you walked up to me the other day, I thought you were showing me corn. I know it wasn't, but it startled me. It's what she says, according to Jamey's deposition. All the Blake Lively people who want to do this whole women and women and women and Blake and I'm a woman and I'm a woman and a woman and I have a uterus and I can procreate and this and that, this alone should disqualify her.
Yeah, this is horrible.
Asking this woman to show you her birth video because you thought it was corn, which again, we've established, it's been 2 years now. You know it wasn't corn. You said you know it wasn't. Whether you saw whether you saw her foot in stirrups, I don't give a shit. Whether you saw her you saw her uterus actually expand and a baby come out or not, you know it's not what you thought it was. Therefore, you cannot be offended by, there is no way you're offended by this. You cannot claim it is part of your SH, I'm not doing it. This alone should disqualify all of Blake Lively's people from this whole women and women and women. I don't want to hear that shit again. This alone disqualifies her. Hell, this alone stops her from being a woman. I'm done. I'm actually done with it now. This woman has nothing to do with this. All her husband did wrong was thought you were a fucking human being and could understand you're a fucking grown. I hate that. Blake is a child. At this point, Blake is a child. You're a grown woman who has had 4 fucking children. If you don't know what a birth video looks like and can't deal, get the fuck out of my face. And I'm sorry about you. This is your page, but I can't do it. I'm actually done. I'm pissed off for this woman. And you know what makes her so mad? She probably would willingly educate people on this and probably show her own video and wouldn't mind even putting it on Instagram. But the way you're treating it, something her family... Now, who did that? I was in the middle of a whole... Who startled me like that? It makes me mad. And you know, I just found out recently that Jamey has an older daughter. And she has actually, it's creepy how I found out. I'm not creepy, just like somebody tagged me and everything. She actually had her kid. And it's a home birth, just like Jamey's wife did. And this is something that they find sacred. This is something that they cherish, right? So to me, and I've never had a home birth. I had my son emergency C-section. And to kind of treat this family and their process in this way, I'm gonna leave, okay?
Elsridge,
Sorry.
we understand. It's really upsetting.
I'm going to answer real quick the people's question. So what they granted was all footage must be produced and her attorney's fees. What they denied is the preclusion of Heath's testimony. So Heath gets to still testify, but she gets the footage and she gets her attorney's fees paid for them bringing up this sanctions. Also, in regards to the footage, it is covered by the protective order already in place. So he said that it's so sensitive that it will never be allowed to be part of the public record. It also will remain sealed even if it is filed later. So no one outside the legal teams and the court will ever be able to access this video.
I mean, and if it is, then why is it being put in? Why is this allowed to be put forward? Because
she needs to. She claims she needs to show her evidence. But I'm with Elsridge, she already established she knows it's a birth video. She knows it's a birth video. So who stinking cares if you thought it was pornography? You know it's not. So why do you continue to push for this when you know it's not? Just so what is the purpose when you know it's not?
And also that he granted fees on the motion when he's like, sanctions aren't really called for. He says sanctions aren't really called for something like this because it's not unreasonable that Heath would have concluded that. So why did he grant the fees anyways?
It says because under Rule 37, when a party fails to comply with a discovery order, the court is expected to impose some consequence unless the failure was justified. And he says here, Heath did not comply with a clear discovery order, but the judge still did not see his conduct as willful, but it was still improper. So what he did was he did the lesser sanctions, just as little as he could. So the judge walked through the 4 Rule 37B factors with him, and he decided that precluding Heath's testimony was too extreme, but he also noticed that Heath had not been warned. His failure wasn't so unreasonable that it proved bad faith, so the judge chose the least severe sanction that still holds Heath accountable, and that would be, by default, the attorney's fees.
That's wild to me because even she didn't ask for this before discovery closed.
Yeah.
So did I can't remember if his attorneys made that point. I feel like they did.
They did. They said this is just a covering for a motion to compel. But you know what this says though? Hopefully that means that what they did on their side will be answered affirmatively, will be granted as well.
What do you mean?
There was something that Wayfair ended up doing.
What is it? What is it? Good news?
It's the 30-point document. Metadata. Because Blake Lively supporters were like, well, they should have done it before the motion. They can't motion to compel and after the fact. What did they do? Did they say motion to compel? They didn't do a sanctions though. But there was something about the 30-point document, and people were like, well, they should have asked for it earlier.
They did it in the emails.
But I wonder if they were given the requirement to provide that, or if they were like saying, well, we already provided the ones from June 20. I don't know. I'm going to pin it here. I'm just going to pin it here because I don't know. But I wonder if this ends up helping get the 30-point document. I know that's weird for me, but for me to say, but I just want to consider that. I want to.
Well, I think if they file something like this, a sanction on their team for not bringing it forward. At this point, I think sanctions are working because I mean, I don't know much about the law, but I'm upset because I'm like, I thought they had to push to compel prior to discovery closing and to dress this as a sanction and then the judge to grant them, even if it's the smallest of fees. It's awful.
Yeah. Now Sarah, I'm gonna put you on, but I know you don't want to be on YouTube, or at least you didn't want to. So if I'm just forewarning you in case you want to keep your camera off. Oh. Or maybe you don't want to even come on anymore. Do you want to still come on or no? I'm gonna invite you just in case, but I just did want to forewarn you because I know that you were like, I don't want to be. So
no, you're fine. I just wasn't sure if you guys had seen the sanctions motion already.
Yeah,
that's
what
what we just finished reading.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on it, Sarah?
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm kind of not surprised. The more important thing was that he says, no, it's ridiculous to keep him away from a jury.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, this is part of his thing, giving her kind of whatever she wants, giving her breadth of discovery. But I guess the argument here is when he got the original thing, they did say all documents, right? And that is technically a document related to the video. Like when I read it that way, I'm like, yeah, he can say, well, the only video I had was on my phone, but he didn't respond when she filed the motion to compel originally. Like when she originally said, I want all the documents related to this video, that was his moment to say, hey, just so you know, yeah, I do have 15 hours of footage or whatever, but the 3-minute video on my phone is the only one we're really talking about. That's when he needed to bring that up, I guess. I see the point. Mm-hmm. It's kind of silly, but yeah, I mean.
But Sarah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what would Wayfair had needed to do about the 30-point documents metadata? Because one of the things that they had said originally was like, this is just these sanctions are just cover for really a motion to compel. And then Blake Lively supporters were like, well, they should have done a motion to compel on the 30-point document earlier.
I wonder if the plan is to do an in limine motion, which could prevent the 30-point document itself from being shown to a jury, and it would limit her testimony. She would be able to testify about what she read out loud in the meeting, but she wouldn't necessarily be able to show the jury the document because it hasn't been authenticated. Yes. So basically, instead of her giving the 30-point list to the jury, she'd just have to say out loud what it was that she read from, because if they can't authenticate the original 30-point document, Wayfair can say the document can't go in front of the jury. And then keep in mind, the witnesses aren't going to be able to testify to what she said. Only the parties will. So she and Justin and Jamey are going to be the only people talking about what specifically she said in that meeting. So it's kind of 2 against 1.
Can they make her not be able to see the sheet of paper? Can she do it based off of her own memory?
I mean, I guess she would kind of have to, because she can't read off the piece of paper. I mean, I don't know. Britt would be the person to ask, because I guess the question would be, can she recall? I mean, she could recreate. Yeah, she could sit down with the lawyer and recreate the 30-point list and read off of that. But she couldn't bring up something since then. It's very weird that she's using July as well. I just we know it existed in December 24. So I don't know why she didn't use that.
Well, I have some ideas.
Okay, Britt. So yeah, so I mean, she can sit down with a lawyer and kind of work out her recollection of the 30 points and take notes on it and then read from the notes. But what she wouldn't get to tell the jury is that there was a prepared document at that meeting if they won the in limine motion.
People are asking if Britt can join. That's up to Britt. Okay, continue, Sarah. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, that's all I have is just, yeah, I think they're going to file an in limine motion and say the document, the existence of the document, that whole thing can't go on to the jury. I suspect that Ryan's the one who wrote it, and that's why they're not providing the original, because they don't want to give up his phone. Sarah joined and reeled me back in. Sorry, Britt. Yeah, I mean, I think in limine motions aren't super common. So naturally, there's going to be 500 of them in this case. So we'll get to see what people are trying to keep out. And I'm pretty sure they're filed publicly on the docket like everything else. So we'll get to see this fight with the 30-point document.
Sarah, is there anything else that the Wayfair parties can do to not have to show this video?
I don't think so. I didn't really, at first I thought her sanctions motion was kind of silly, but then he does bring up a good point, which is all documents. Jamey Heath knew he had more video. So they needed to make the argument, hey, the video that's being disputed is this 3-minute video that I have on my phone. I want to make it clear that while other video exists, it's not pertinent to the case. And they could have had that fight during the discovery.
And so
that's why.
And so they
Yeah.
can compel this right now after discovery then?
Yeah, because what she's saying is in his original response to the interrogatories or to the initial discovery request, he never told them. All he produced was this 3-minute clip. So the first time that he ever told anyone, hey, there's other video on a hard drive on my computer, was in his deposition, which is what spurred the motion to compel. So basically, I see the logic, right? I mean, it might be obvious that he had other video, but he didn't say that, so they can't move to compel back during the discovery process, assuming that it exists. So he needed to say, just to clarify, when you say all documents relating to the video, do you mean that I have anywhere or just the video on my phone that I showed you? That would have been, that would have been the thing. So I see the point. It's annoying. And it's a terrible look for her, I think. But
She doesn't care about terrible looks.
yeah, clearly. But I do see Liman's point, which is like, if you were going to say that there's 2 different sources of video, that was something to respond to in discovery. So, but I'm glad he said, and it's absolutely ridiculous that I'm not putting him in front of a jury, because that was like, yeah, that is a question for the jury. He's going to say, this is the video I showed her, and she's going to say whatever she's going to say, and the jury is going to decide who's more credible. So, Desi, I think I may have just literally answered it as you were writing that, but yeah, they're both going to go in front of a jury with their versions of events, and it'll be up to the jury to determine credibility.
But if they're not going to show it to the public, they're only going to show it to the jury?
Yes, correct. And only if I'm assuming she'll find a clip that comports with her recollection, as she put it, or comports with her memory, and it'll go in front of the jury.
So she thought whatever this thing, she thought it was pornography. She knew it wasn't, but she thought it was, and she wants to make sure other people see it.
That's how I'm taking it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right?
Fantastic.
And the thing is, she does not need to ask for this. She's still well within her rights to go to the jury and say...
She does not.
Yeah, she could still go to a jury and say, hey, this is what I saw. My suspicion is that she's going to tell the jury, this is what I recall seeing, and it's very different than what he's saying. And I think it's a good thing that she hasn't said that publicly. But my guess is her recollection has something specific that she doesn't feel is in the video that he's posted. So, but I guess she'll have a clip now to show the jury. And they're probably, we'll see.
I will say, people know I've been on record about this birth video for a really long time. It is the one piece in Wayfarer's thing that I feel like it's been a moving target for me.
Yes, yeah.
Because the New York Times version said that it was like during birth.
Well, the original New York Times article, if I'm remembering correctly, says that he showed her a video of his wife naked and doesn't say anything about giving birth.
I mean, it was in regards to, for the New York Times maybe, but I mean the
CRD.
No, I'm talking about when they sued the New York Times. This was how they said it. The Times compounded its journalistic failures by uncritically advancing Lively's unsubstantiated claims of sexual harassment against Heath and Baldoni. For example, the article based on Lively's CRD complaint sensationally alleges that Mr. Heath had shown Lively a video of his naked wife, with Lively's CRD complaint even labeling the footage as pornography. This claim is patently absurd. The video in question was a non-pornographic recording of Heath's wife and baby during a home birth, a deeply personal one with no sexual overtone. To distort this benign event into an act of sexual misconduct is outrageous and emblematic of the lengths to which Lively and her collaborators are willing to go to defame plaintiffs. However, even though it says during a home birth, the thing that did stick out to me is he said Heath's wife and baby. So I was like, okay, so is the baby out already? Maybe the baby is out already. But he makes no mention of Heath being in there.
That's true. Yeah.
They put the picture of Heath, his wife, and the baby. But when they do put the picture, they just say it's a still of the video referenced. They didn't say this was the clip. But then he does say it's the clip. But then he's like, but you hear the baby crying. So I mean, it's so it is a little. There's just a little bit of like issue.
We do need clarification on the
Just
video.
a clarification.
Yeah.
Oh, where did Katie go? I just tried to, and then she went and disappeared.
An order on the motion for sanctions, you guys. There is an order from Judge Liman.
We just read it.
Docket right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we just
Yes.
read all of it, and we've just discussed it completely. What's your take on it, Katie?
Yeah, but tell us your thoughts.
I haven't even read it. Is that why you guys are live?
Yeah. I know that I said I was going to hold off on the Katie Case one that you said on the Jones versus Abel, but people were just freaking out in the chat. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll look at it. Oh,
Sorry. Apparently I can't go to my email and also talk to you guys.
FYI, Katie, this goes on YouTube. You fine with that? It's too late now. If I forgot to forewarn you.
I was trying to kill people in my Dead by Daylight game, so it's fine. Do you guys like horror movies?
It depends.
No.
I like smart like psychological.
Okay, well,
I have to go, you guys, but there's
Bye,
one.
Sarah.
Wait, there's one thought I want to leave you guys with in the chat. If you're okay, one thing to keep in mind if you're disappointed by the sanctions motion is Blake had the goal of keeping Jamey Heath away from the jury, and she did not get that. And I think that's very important to understand that, like, at the end of the day, he's going to get to say his version in front of the jury. They're going to get to look at the credibility of this.
Yeah,
So,
but knowing Blake, having more info, she does more damage. So it just we're all
it can
upset anyway.
backfire. It can backfire. I think this whole motion was an excuse to ask that he be kept from the jury, which is a very rare thing for a defendant.
Did she get it?
And it's a very
No, she did not.
no, she didn't. But the
She
thing
did
is,
not.
not only is it weird.
Rule 11 one?
It was
No,
it was
it's a different one.
It was
The
denied
video.
One of
Mark
the
granted the
17 sanctions motion? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so basically did not want him to testify. This was the thing that I said kind of switched me to Team Baldoni as far as my actual opinion on this now, because if you think that Heath is creepy and he's a predator, you want him in front of the jury. You want the jury to see that. If you think the video is weird, regardless of what it's showing, you want the jury to see that. So to keep him from the jury, there's something about this video that she knows is not good for her in front of a jury. And she did not get to keep him away from the jury because that's ridiculous. The whole point is for them to present their two sides of whatever happened in this video and for the jury to determine credibility.
Yeah, and there's a comment in the chat from Teeny that said they are paying attorney's fees. This is not a win in any way. Actually, it still is, because the fees that he had, he has to sanction a little bit. That's what his whole point is. Like he says, you know, you can't keep Heath from testifying. That's the biggest piece. But you do have to provide this footage because I already made a decision on that, and you didn't provide it at that time. So this is not something new. I'm just saying you actually have to provide it. And because you didn't provide it, you have to have something to hold you accountable for not doing it. But because I don't think you did it willfully, I don't think that you and you weren't forewarned, and you didn't know all of these different things. Therefore, the least amount of sanction I can give you is the attorney's fees. So it
that's
was
exactly
the least he. I mean, like if he could not give a sanction at all, he probably would. But he had to give a little bit, and that was the least that he could do.
And I think that's the correct decision. And then somebody said, well, she can pick anything she wants from the video. I mean, she can, but I don't know if Justin saw the video. I don't know if any of the other parties have seen it. There could be other witnesses that she brings in, and we don't know what they saw. So
she would. She had her assistant next to her.
So if the assistant testifies, we'll see what they have to say as well. So if you really think she's going to go through and make something up now.
Sorry, the person I thought was a producer, that she looked like she was of Asian descent of some sort. You know who I'm talking about? And like,
is that the assistant?
Like right there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that person has already been deposed. If they were asked about the video, that, you know, to be able to just go through and make something up. I mean, we'll see what happens. So when somebody says she'll cherry pick the video, I mean, it depends on what's already said. So,
Sarah, do you see anything that the that the judge mentioned that would give us a hint on how he will rule on the other sanctions? Because I saw something in there that said, you know, in order for me to put sanctions, it has to be really bad. And it
Yeah, I mean, and I think the whole thing, oh, you did technically mess this up, and they shouldn't have had to file another motion to get this to happen. So fair enough. That's what sanctions are typically for. I don't think there's anything in there to really give you any idea other than he's like, sanctions are a big deal. There shouldn't be, I think he's probably thinks there shouldn't be 10 sanctions motions in this case. You know, it should come up like this. This is a good example of like where you might ask for that. But the attorney's fees is one thing. Keeping a party from a jury is a reversible error. It's the kind of thing that would get turned over on appeal. You're essentially handing Blake Lively that.
Is it just me or does Sarah pause?
Sarah has bad internet.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now
Can you
I
hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not sure where it cut out, but basically what I was saying is keeping Jamey Heath away from the jury is handing that claim to Blake Lively. It's making it so that she will obviously win on that claim because you won't hear any other version of events. That's not something that a judge it's a reversible error. It's the kind of thing that could get overturned on an appeal. It's a big decision. And I think all this tells you is kind of something we already know about Liman, which is like, he doesn't make big decisions. He's like, just get this done, you know?
I think he's a little more procedural. Not necessarily he doesn't want to make big decisions. I think it's more like
he's just, I'm not going to get creative here.
Well, and I think too that sometimes I feel like even as we've been covering everything so closely from the beginning, we have a little bit of an emotional investment in how this goes. And he has to literally take it all and go, could care less. I don't know anything. I don't want to know about anything about these people. I look at the facts and the law in front of me, and that's what we want. You know?
And that's his job. And if I want every plaintiff to get the treatment that Lively is getting from Judge Liman. Like I would want anyone in this situation to be getting, who has had these claims, to be getting a fair, getting to make these arguments.
I'm with you. I've been catching up and I've been watching a couple of the things. There was particularly the videos that have been released as a part of this, like the one where, he calls, they're in the onesies, they're all in the bar with the hot and the sexy and whatever. And I think a controversial take, and I debated on making a video about this or not, but I counsel people for a living, so I kind of understand when people are, she looked genuinely uncomfortable. She looked like she was, whether it was she was in a room that was not her friends or a room full of people that she didn't enjoy. It doesn't matter. Thank you for the gifts, by the way, but it doesn't matter, but she looked uncomfortable, and that made me very uncomfortable to watch. Regardless, you could tell he was on eggshells a little bit. Like he knew that whatever he was going to say was not going to land right, but he was also still just trying to go with the flow because there were so many people around. And so just from speculating, I watched it probably 3 or 4 times, and I was like, you could see him going like, I'm going to try and do this. Right. And then he would say like, are you comfortable? Like, let's take this off. It's hot in here, like type of thing. And she'd be like, and he'd be reading her. And then you see him go, I fucked up. Like he knew immediately that she was upset about something. And then the reaction to that going forward. But seeing her face, that was upsetting. I know that I could tell that she was very uncomfortable. I don't know what the context is around that scene. It was only that 8-minute clip. We don't know. Were they shooting all day long and there's been nonstop, like just bullshit? Was it she just got in a fight with Ryan on the phone? Was it her mom called and told her something crap? You know what I mean? You never know what the context is around that scene.
Oh, okay.
But she did visually. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you paused, so I was like, "Hello, are you there?" But
That's okay. But she did very much look uncomfortable in that video clip, and that was hard. That was hard, I think, to watch a little bit, where you're like, oh, she is upset about something. Like she's not just like there's something going. Jenny Slate though seemed neutral. Like I couldn't get a read from it at all. And some people are very good at masking like that, but like couldn't get a read at all. But
Yeah.
Blake, you could tell she was very upset.
Yeah, Katie, we talked about that a lot last night. So this is what I have now coming back from last night. People, first and foremost, Katie, like people, there's somebody on YouTube that called me pro Blake just because I gave space for the fact that, like, I'm saying I understand where she could have potentially have interpreted it the way that she chose to interpret it or whatever. But people are saying that the reason she got upset was the toothpick comment. And I will say that she did seem to get most upset after the toothpick. I think as a person who is very controlling on the red carpet about how everybody looks, remember when she had the little pin, like the little thing in her hair, and like her hairstylist or whoever didn't.
And they were
take it
like,
out.
"How could you let me go on the carpet like this?" And you're
Yes.
like, "What?" Like,
And
yeah.
so I think she was embarrassed.
Well, yeah.
She was embarrassed when he says the thing. Here's the thing that I will say. What I did last night was I compared what she said happened versus what he said happened.
Okay.
And his version of it was more accurate than hers. However, the problem with Justin Baldoni's version was he failed to mention the whole sexual harassment comment. And that, I said, that would always look like, for Blake Lively supporters, that will look like he's hiding something. Why wouldn't you bring that up? But I will say this, he didn't look like he was talking to Blake when he said that comment. It looked like he was talking to Jenny Slate. And that's
SLSM is right. None of this is SH.
Yeah. None of it is SH.
But it does make for an uncomfortable work environment, which I understand. I understand the discomfort.
I think the discomfort is he's a director and he asked her to take her jacket off, and it escalated to this level because she would not just take her jacket off. Because
I took it as more like she wanted to be in control of how her character looked and how she felt she looked. And I think that any way that the perspective of her would change, whether it was the tooth or the whatever, she didn't like the way that the direction was going, and she just would immediately turn off to that. But she kind of had to subside to that. And I'm wondering if okay, I gotta go. Sorry.
Bye. Oh wait, what? Oh wait, what? What's happening?
I think your spouse called her.
So did he say the SH? I heard it, but here's the thing. There was a lot of background noise. I felt like I heard it. And when I first got sent a link to it, I was like, I'm not going to trust that link. No offense, but I'm going to go to docketupdates.com and see it if I can hear it from what was like immediately put up on docketupdates.com, because I know that comes directly from the courts. Mm-hmm. And I could hear it from there. So I was like, okay, I do hear it. And he does end up rolling his eyes, which I think those two pieces is why Blake Lively supporters are having a field day. And some people are like, this is proof. And honestly, there's no SH, like not like what when you're talking about SH, like happened in that scene. But was she unhappy? Was she, did she look unhappy at points? Yeah. And I do understand why people said, they think that it's like the toothpick situation. I can understand why people think that. What I will say is Blake Lively's version, I can understand how Blake Lively's version came to be. I would not, and this is what got me called a pro Blake person. What I just said was like, the dance montage, I thought she just completely like was deceptive almost all the way through that description. But this one, it's still I wouldn't call it deceptive. I could imagine her fudging and not understanding. The only thing that I do think is interesting is her version is he says, "You look sexy." and then said, I mean, sorry, hot. But he says hot first, then sexy, and he's literally talking about the heat of the room. So a part of me is like, okay, would she have misunderstood it? Would she have misunderstood him because it's loud and noisy? Did she misunderstand that he was talking about the heat of the room? But but she flipped the order of him saying it. That's the only thing that makes me go, is that just because her memory's fudgy? Maybe. But the other piece is that she wrote that he walked away, and that still sticks with me because he never walks away. And
Yeah,
so
he
I'm like,
stays
what
there.
narrative? Like, actually, maybe I'll ask the chat. Like, what is the narrative behind saying he walked away when he never did?
And he listened. He listened to them, stood there, kind of was watching them to see, like, are we good? Before they started to set up for the scene. So I see her as being intent on misunderstanding him. And so I just don't think that, if she showed discomfort, she just wanted control. She wanted control, so she's uncomfortable with receiving direction. That's what I talk
I
it up
mean,
to.
I do think she is uncomfortable with receiving directions, but I mean, all I will say is this: the Blake Lively supporters who think this proves her case, I understand where they're coming from, right? I don't see anything that was SH there to the level of severe and pervasive and all this stuff. And he did apologize later on, and and he did apologize May 30th, and she had no incident after that point. After she came back on set, so that means it was resolved, and that's the thing that always gets me is how does she come back in November and act like nothing had changed when he really addressed her concerns?
Right.
I don't. I want to understand why he said that joke, because it's not a great joke, and why then he rolled his eyes. I want to understand the context. I still do not think he was talking to Blake. I do think he was talking to Jenny. So I don't know if Jenny said something, and then that's why he responded the way he did. I need to hear the full context. Now, mind you, I heard that it might be on. I heard it was on TMZ, and I don't know, Carol. I just really don't.
I did
What,
watch the TMZ. I think that they're stretching it a little bit.
like, did you hear the sound? Was it more clear?
It was more clear on theirs, and I don't think it sounds as clear. I'm working with the raw file itself. I do, and I slowed it down to see if I hear it. I hear the ending. I don't hear sexual. I don't hear that word.
Oh, you
I
don't?
hear Yeah, I hear the harassment. Like, oh, I'm maybe a harassment training, but I don't hear like sexual. Sexual said sh. I don't hear that part. Let me see. I started to do captions on the video, and I want to upload it when it's done to like a separate link to share, to say like, these are the MSJ videos. Here's the one I edited. Just to show the captions. But I just think like you could just tell he doesn't look comfortable either. He's like, how do I tell her? Like, how do I tell her? So fine, fair point. Everyone's uncomfortable here. And one thing that's telling for me is looking at the assistant's face. If you watch the video, if you look at her face, the assistant isn't like, oh my God, you said this, and I'm reading Blake and she looks upset. She kind of smiles when he says that. And so
I think looking at people's facial expressions, everybody's is so subjective, because I read her face as like, and then she clenches she does a clenching of the jaw. And to me, I don't know if it necessarily means like, oh my word, I can't believe he said that, or if she's responding to something that Blake is doing. Is really hard to tell. But something caused an actual visceral reaction from her. Like, I don't know what it is though, because I thought it came immediately after he said sexy, but it doesn't mean because she was looking at him. The minute he said sexy, she turned her. I thought she turned away from and looked at Blake. So I don't know. So that's the only thing. The only person genuinely who can say what was going through her mind is her. You know, and because everybody can read the facial stuff every which way.
Mhm.
And the fact that you saw it differently than I did, you know, and I think we both are trying to approach it honestly in how we view that. And
Mhm.
it opens up all it just brings up how subjective it all is.
Uh, and the biggest piece for me is like he was comfortable addressing it afterwards. You know what I mean? He didn't leave in the discomfort, and that could be unsettling to just leave like, ew, it feels a little tense. Let me get out of here. He was uncomfortable in that uncomfortable situation. Like he was just like, I gotta sit with this. I gotta work through this with them.
Yeah. Okay. So I just had to ask Chat, like, because this is, and what Chat said, I agree with, and what I was also thinking. I said he never walked away. Why did she feel the need to say that? And Chat said, here's the cleanest way to understand why she added and walked away, even though the evidence shows that he did not do that. This is about narrative construction, not about proving what actually happened. One, it creates a visual of her being left alone after being mistreated. So ending the paragraph with he walked away leaves the reader with an image of him dismissing her and leaving her to deal with the discomfort by herself. It strengthens the emotional impact of the paragraph. Two, it reinforces her theme of he mistreated me and didn't care. Throughout her complaint, she repeats a pattern. She reacts, he dismisses her. Adding walked away supports that pattern. Even in places where the underlying conduct does not match that description, the language keeps her theme consistent. Three, it makes her sound like she was unsupported and vulnerable. By saying he walked away, she paints herself as the person left to manage the moment alone in front of the crew. It shapes the reader's emotional response. That shaping does not require accuracy unless a court tests it. Four, it adds a finishing stroke to the paragraph. A complaint is a storytelling document as much as a legal document. Walked away functions like a closing beat. It signals he said something inappropriate, dismissed her reaction, then disengaged. Whether that occurred is a separate question. The language still helps the narrative feel complete. Five, it gives the impression of escalation. By ending on a note of him removing himself from the situation, she pushes the message that his conduct was not only unprofessional, but also indifferent to her discomfort. More bluntly, if she had written the events exactly as they occurred, the moment would not land as strongly. The line walked away boosts the emotional weight, even though the real-time sources do not match it.
Right, because she could have said, I said it was good at the end. Even though I wasn't. Even though I wasn't, I said it was good. But she did it because that doesn't support the narrative.
Yeah. Leslie, if it's the sanctions, we read it already. And I'm putting it up in YouTube later tonight if you want to watch it on YouTube to see what our reactions were to the sanctions. Demoting hugging culture? Come on, said Son. With that said, I am over. I've said I'm going to try to do shorter lives since I'm uploading them on YouTube and all these different things. I don't know if I have the stamina or interest right now to look at what Katie Case had. So I'm probably not going to put Katie Case in. So we're going to close out. What song should I play to close it out?
Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let me see which song. Play this.
Oh, demonizing hugging culture is what Son meant.
I
did see. Oh wait, no. Good.
I was gonna say, what about the bait and switch one? Have you played that one in a while?
I haven't played bait and switch in a while. I will say, I didn't watch the Be Better. And here, okay, this might be an unpopular opinion, and I own that. And I want to do a disclaimer. Obviously, I respect anybody's right to watch whoever they want. So I hope you're not offended. I don't watch Be Better. Typically, simply only because I don't know if I personally trust the motivations behind some of the things that I guess I've just seen
sensationalizing
and capitalizing on mystery
It's the same thing
without
we don't like.
providing any. So the fact that he puts it on his like smaller account gives the allure of like, oh, it's a secret, you guys, don't make it bigger, which makes people want to make it bigger. Which gives it more credence that it doesn't necessarily have. And so that makes me feel iffy about the information that the person is providing. Now again, he may have it. And I'm not necessarily questioning that. I just feel that there's an uneasiness I feel with some of the way he presents things. And if and I think one of the things that why is he did a thing before where it was gave the impression that his particular account was getting focused on more than like any other account, and I was like, I don't necessarily think that's accurate. Anyway, so that's the reason.
It's the same reason we scrutinize BL's accounts, right? Like, give us dates, give us info. We're not just gonna go on trust me, bro vibes.
Yeah. No, I was having a conversation with somebody in my DMs, and they were like, well, they were hearing some stuff, and they said, I wanted to just fact check, or I mean, not he, but I don't know the gender. The person said, I just wanted to fact check, and I said, always fact check. I was like, don't ever. I was like, no matter how much you respect a content creator, no matter how much you trust a content creator, do not ever come to a place where you think that a content creator saying something is enough. It is never enough. It is never enough. I mean, double check. People have called me out when I've been inaccurate. And obviously, that I'm not trying to be inaccurate. That's why I always love it when people are like, it's like this or that or whatever. If you have a content creator be a person that they think they're above being fact checked,
nice,
be like afraid, because then that person wants blind loyalty, and that's not good. You have to be. I put, after the conversation with that person, I put up a TikTok that said the truth can withstand scrutiny. It should be able to withstand scrutiny. And so, and the reason I think that's so important, Carol, is because I have people come in my space all the time that are pro Blake folks, and they say, I think this way or that way. And it's like, okay, I can respect that. I'm willing to look at your stuff. Just tell me what is it? Like, tell me the things that you're looking at that I can understand where, let me see it for myself so I can make my own determination. Sometimes it's just that we have very different starting points. And and so we're looking at the same information, and one person's like, this is a KO for Justin Baldoni, and another one's like, this is not a big deal. Right? So it's not the factual things in front of us sometimes. Sometimes it literally is how we filter what we think is important and what we don't think is important. With that said, it's just really interesting because when usually I ask them to provide, like, what exactly are they looking at? Very few provide me anything. And it makes me wonder, one, are they looking at the docket? Are they dependent on their content creator folks to tell them what to think? And the one thing I will say is, like, as much as I'm so thankful for the respect that people have for me and the kind things that people say to me, I will never, ever want you to ever come to a place where, because I say it, you believe it. Don't ever come to that place. I wouldn't want you to come to that place. I want you to always fact check me, please. Because that would, it becomes too scary when people don't want to, because they're like, well, so-and-so said it, therefore I believe it. Like, sure, I've earned the right to be trusted and respected, but I'm also a human being. And so, remember that one time I bet my life.
You put it all on the line.
I bet my life on it, and then I died because I was so wrong. You know what I mean? So I think the one thing that people can trust is that I'm never out to intentionally mislead somebody. And I can't say that for all content creators. Some are really out there to intentionally mislead people, and that I cannot respect. But I can respect people who are really authentically approaching the evidence, and yet they just arrive at different conclusions because their starting filter is different.
I mean, that's exactly what the jury is going to have to do, right? Like,
Yeah.
come in with their different perspectives, their different biases, and take a look at this evidence and what does it say.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
agree
With all that said, I appreciate everybody being here, and we're gonna play bait and switch. It's been a while since I played this.
Yeah, I really
almost
like
forgot
that
how
song.
it goes.
I need to listen to all your new ones.
I have not done a new one since Ambush.
I'm waiting for the Be Deadly one.
Be for real.
I'm waiting. I'm watching your TikTok. I'm like,
Oh my word. I have to be inspired, but
be lively, be deadly. You know, there's a little bit of something there for you. Well, I'll let you wrap up your own live. Thank you so much for having me. And guys, visit docketupdates.com. I'll post
docketupdates.com.
I'll post the new order, and I'm working on the Case and Coslow update right now. Okay, bye guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the gifts. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thanks. I forgot how the song goes. It's been so long.
You said I have no motives except for you to win. As a director, as an actor, as a studio, as a writer. If you win, I win. If you win, our movie wins. It's that old bait and switch. You got 'em real good. It's that old bait.
Bye, folks.
You got 'em real good. You got 'em real good.
Thanks, Dee. I didn't feel on top of this one because I was working, and I'm like, I cannot make any content. I'm working.
He called you a collaborator. He called you his friend. You didn't ever say he was either of those things to you. He didn't notice, but I did. It's that old
LA, I am an educator consultant, so I do trainings. Thanks for all these gifts, y'all.
You got 'em real good. You got 'em real good. On the red carpet,
I am in Washington, Breezy runs.
we help each other. He works on everything I do. I work on everything he does. It's that old bait and switch. Yeah.
Rena said, I can tell you train because you use minimal filler words. Katie, it's, I use Suno. So I write the lyrics, and I choose the voice, and I choose the music. User, yes. Judge Liman did grant it. But he did not, he denied the request to not allow Heath to be able to share his testimony. Thankfully, even though it is incredibly angering, right? It's not going to end up in the docket. It should never become public. Okay, so they're keeping that under wraps. It's not going to be something that any of us should be able to see. Thanks for the compliments, y'all. No time for BS. Other folks are feeling that mad for Natasha and Jamey Heath as well. And I think it was really tough. Ellsridge, it was, I don't know if Ellsridge is still here, but I know that was really tough for Ellsridge to hear. So thank y'all again. I'll try to upload this on YouTube hopefully you can check it out. All right, bye.